In this video, we're going to talk about angles of depression and angles of elevation. Let's talk about angles of depression first. An angle of depression is if I were to imagine that right at the vertex of that angle, I'm going to put a little eye here. Let's say that this is our line of sight. So I'm looking out along the horizon, and then the angle of depression would be the angle that's formed when I sweep down. So that's this angle right here. A lot of times people get this angle here confused with angle of depression. This is not the angle of depression. It's this one right here. Because you want to make sure that you're looking out along the horizon and then you sweep down because it's an angle of depression. Now, with an angle of elevation, it's the same idea, but you're going to sweep up from the horizon. So if I imagine that this is my line of sight right here, here's my eye, I'm looking out along the horizon this way, and my angle of elevation would be the angle that I sweep up to look out this way. So this would be my angle of elevation right here. Okay, so now let's apply that. All right, so we have a tree here, and to find the height of a tree, a person walks to a point 30 feet from the base. So here's the base of the tree, and a person walks out 30 feet away from the base of the tree. She measures an angle of 57 degrees between a line of sight to the top of the tree and the ground. So that's going to be my angle of elevation because this is where the person is standing. And if they look out this way along the horizon and then they sweep up to look up, that's going to be my angle of elevation. That's 57 degrees. All right, now we want to use that information to find the height of the tree. So if I imagine that this tree is the opposite side of this angle, if we're looking at it as a triangle, I'm going to label that as side H. So I have this triangle right here. This is 57 degrees. This is 90 degrees. Here's my height. And this side of my triangle, or this leg, is 30 feet. Okay, so if you recall, if we think back, we know that sine of an angle is opposite over hypotenuse. I know that cosine of an angle is adjacent over hypotenuse. And then I know that tangent of the angle is opposite over adjacent. Okay, so look at the information that we have here so we can figure out which of these definitions we're going to use. I have my adjacent side. That's 30 feet. I know what my opposite, or I shouldn't say I know what my opposite side is. I'm looking for my opposite side, so that needs to be involved in the equation somewhere. And I know what my angle is. It's 57 degrees. Okay, so I'm looking for an equation that has the angle, the opposite, and the adjacent in it. So that's this tangent right here. That's what we're going to use. Opposite, adjacent, and theta. So I'm going to set this up as tangent of 57 degrees is equal to my opposite side, which is H, over my adjacent side, which is 30. Doing a little bit of cross multiplication, if I put this over 1, I can take H times 1 is H, and that equals to 57, or sorry, tangent of 57 times 30. And so when I put that in on my calculator, I'll figure out what the height of my tree is. So this is what I have to put in on my calculator. I have to put 30 times the tangent of 57. So on my calculator, I need to put 30 times tangent of 57 to find my height. So first of all, let's turn the calculator on. I got to hit my on button. Okay, and I also want to make sure that I'm in degree mode. I'm going to go to my mode and I'm going to scroll down, and on my calculator here, on the third line down, yours might be different if you have a different model, but on my third line down, I can switch back and forth between radian and degrees on my calculator. If I wanted to go to ratings, I would arrow down, and when it's highlighted on ratings, I hit enter. But because I want it on degrees, I want to make sure that the black or the highlighted area is over degrees, so I'm going to hit enter. And now I know it's in degree mode. So I'm going to go back to my home screen by going and using this yellow quit right here. I'm going to go second mode to go to use the quit button. And then I'm going to take 30 times, here's my tangent button right here, tangent of 57 degrees. And I know it's in degree mode, we just checked. Close my parentheses. And then I'm going to hit enter. And so if we round to 2 decimal places, or let's round to 1 decimal place, it'll make it easier. If I round to 1 decimal place, my answer is going to be 46.2 feet. That's the height of the tree.